Good evening to you. My friends, it is a pleasure to come and to talk with you and to bring to you those words of inspiration, those words of upliftment, because it is a fact that you all have many, many, many thoughts that go through your mind both day and night, because you are all questioning things that you are aware of in your day-to-day living, and many question those things from the world unseen. There are many in your world that grieve when they lose their loved ones and the physical presence is no more, but yet do not have the courage to look to that world unseen, or indeed to God and Spirit for answers that perplex them. And you know, the message within Spiritualism is indeed that you should interpret the 7 principles with your own logical thinking mind, because those 7 principles are open to interpretation as you would wish, as you would understand. It is important, therefore, that as you read out those principles, you realized that there was substance in what you were reading, in what those 7 principles say to you, the individual. There is no creed, no dogma, nothing that is going to hinder you, because those principles should make sense to you. In fact, those principles were given from the spirit world through the mediumship of Emma Harding Britton. And you know, the person or the spirit entity that gave those principles to her was Robert Owen, a gentleman who founded the co-op movement that helped many through those days when there was not much that was good about the material world. But what was good, in his opinion, was to be shared amongst everybody, workers and customers alike. For if you shopped in that environment, then you were suitable for what they would call a dividend. It's a bit like what you would think of the spirit world, no doubt, because as you give of yourself, so you receive. As you sow, so you reap, as was said in that reading. And so it is that things have to be logical, that answers have to be found for you, the individual. It is important, therefore, that you open your mind, that you open your heart, that you give of that spirit within you, because it is the spirit that gives you life that will last for an eternity. And this physical world is but a blink of the eye, so to speak, in the greater scheme of life. Those that face, and you all will, the tragedy that you call death is but rebirth in our world, and that individual person that is no longer within the physical world moves forward into life anew in the realms of light and love. And then you see, that means that the spirit itself has transformed, has moved on. That is the greatest message that Spiritualism can give you, because when you grieve, your thoughts are dark and dismal, and you feel that there is no way forward. That is why we wish to dispel that belief that is held by so many in your world. We see that it is important to have a voice, to be able to inspire, uplift, and help those in your world that do not know which way to turn when grief strikes them. And strike the individual it will do, at some time or another, and mostly when it is inconvenient, as you would say, in your modern day speaking. You have greater means in your modern world of communication, and yet you throw out the inspiration given to you from the spirit world as overactive imagination. You have some excuse, whereas in point of fact the spirit world and those that walk with you, family, friends and guides alike, are constantly trying to impress your mind, to see the positive, to understand that your loved ones and friends live on in a different state of vibration. That is the only difference between the coarse vibration of the physical world, where it is all seen. What you see is what you believe. What you don't see, you tend not to believe. And that in itself is a fallacy. All that we ask of you is that you seek answers, is that you seek the truths of the Spirit. It's said in that reading that your understanding of the truth can change, but the truth is the same, because there is no death. That is the truth that too many are unwilling to accept, because they think that the spirit world is something that is intangible and that does not exist. And so you have much work to do in your world, because you know, even if you have convinced yourself by your searching and your questioning, then doubt comes in. If you may be discussing your beliefs with somebody that is not of the same, what shall we say, mindset. Communication is a natural occurrence between your world and ours. And you know, in your world you all use, or the majority of you use, modern technology. Keep in touch by text or email or phone. And yet still you do not always communicate with your family and friends to a high degree. It is simple to send this, that or the other, and indeed sometimes to send the message to the wrong person. And so it is in the spirit world. We may use you to take a message on to somebody else, because they are not as brave as you, to be in an environment where messages can be given, where gifts of the Spirit are used and utilized to bring that love forward, to give hope, to give understanding to all those in need. You began your service with healing, and that is good for us, because we know that you are willing to change your state of thinking, your state of vibration, to set aside just a few moments to think of others. And included in that, of course, is the natural world of nature, the natural world in which the animal kingdom reside, the natural world in which you human race reside, that doesn't look too good from where we are standing in the spirit world, because there is much trouble and strife. There is much war and turmoil and famine, and all those things that are troublesome to your thoughts, that may keep you awake at night with worry. All the things that you have to surmount in day-to-day living all cause your thoughts to be haphazard and to be, what shall we say, a little bit dulled by the doom and gloom that is put out into the media for you to soak up. And then you begin to doubt your spirituality, your spiritual beliefs. And so that is why it is important that you come together, to exchange your views, to band together, to sing your praises, to send your prayers out to us, because there is much that we can do with the energy that we can use. Because you know the energy within your world, it can be quite harsh to us, the ambassadors of light that draw close to your earth vibration, to bring you the help, the advice, the guidance that is there on offer to you. The reading was quite a simple one, just each letter of the word being used to give you food for thought, so that you can understand how the spirit world works, how that spirit within you is so important, how we want you to be of service to God the Father by being helpful in your day-to-day work, so that you may indeed feel that you are doing God's work, that you are bringing forward the message that there is no death. Too many people think of your spiritualism as, maybe, to use a modern phrase, a cop-out, so that you do not have to have a religion to follow. But you know, religion all over time has been, what shall we say, an excuse for man to have power over others, to take control. The only thing that controls your world is God, the Great Spirit, the Creator of all life. Look at your seasons. They change and evolve, and yet there is still seasons of summer, autumn, winter and spring, because there is this life that will continue to breathe life into the physical world, to breathe life into the spiritual world also. And so it is your personal responsibility to take on your own thoughts, not to be overrun by negativity of the thought process, but to realize the positivity of the message within spiritualism itself, within spirit itself. Through eons of time, the message has been given out about the spirits that you are, here and now. And so we urge you to take up the challenge, because you are in control of your own thoughts and your own thought process. The problem is that if you are sensitive to the spirit world, then you are sensitive to others, and you can sometimes take on other people's responsibility. And so you have to learn that you must take responsibility for yourself, and in so doing be a pure channel for God the Father, for those in the spirit world that walk closely with you, to guide you, to help you, to uplift you, to give you strength when you have to face adversity or adverse conditions. And so we would indeed tell to you that thoughts are indeed living things. Take control of your own mind. Allow the Spirit to grow within you. Allow spirituality to guide you forward, and you cannot fail. Your life will be fulfilled. You will find peace, love, joy, harmony. All the things that you crave for in your world have to begin with you, the individual. We are not telling this to cause you dismay. We are telling you this to bring about a positive change within you that will help others to see that what you are saying about the spiritual reality of life is indeed the truth. So take on the challenge, my friends. Go forward in life, telling those that need your help all about the spirit world and the help that comes from God the Father, the Great Spirit. It is important to keep positive. When all seems to be dark, you can shine the light of your own spirituality forward to dispel the darkness, to dispel the fear. There has been much written in many books from the masters who have, through eons of time, come into the world of matter to show the way to all those that are willing to take up the challenge to develop their own spirituality and be channels for the spirit world. We welcome you all into the midst of that challenge to find out the truth about life and life eternal. And so we say to you, my friends, good night and God bless.